Namaskar. Welcome to Conversations with Rakesh. Here's today's question. Rakesh, I'm having a little trouble with a colleague of mine. He interrupts me and criticizes me in meetings. He has taken away most of the credit of the work that I did for him. He also is now spreading malicious rumors about me. Any tips on how do I deal with this challenging colleague? Very good question. There is a lovely movie that I'm reminded of because of this question, and that movie is called Secret Superstar. A fantastic feel good movie about a young girl who has a secret ambition of singing. But her mother is her biggest supporter, but her father is a terror. And that movie has these brilliant stories of two worlds. One is she and her mom, and the father, who's a terror. I mean, when he comes home, my God, when I saw that movie, I could feel goosebumps going in my body because of such a bad, toxic person he was. And the reason I'm bringing this example of a movie is to also connect with you that I think you're masking the word toxic with challenging. This person is causing a lot of harm to you. And in Secret Superstar, the harm was massive physical beating kind of a person, and also tremendous mental torture that would do, which is may not be happening in your corporate life. But please remember, this person is harming you mentally, which is nothing less than or nothing short of a form of toxicity in your life. That this person, because of their behavior, they take away credit from your work, they criticize and interrupt you, they probably also are spreading bad things about you, they're causing you tremendous damage. I would call a toxic person, not a challenging person. And there's a spectrum of challenge. The mild is very simple, fun stuff, making fun of each other kind of a behavior. But extreme toxic relationship could harm you, like how you're saying. And I think you're somewhere in the extreme, may not be massive abuse of beating, but equally harmful. So what I want you to remember is that this person is causing you tremendous harm. Don't forget it. It's a toxic engagement and a toxic relationship. Don't forget it. And the reason I am very worried about you and many like you who live in these relationships, especially in the corporate world with our colleagues and customers and stakeholders and bosses, is because it hurts our self-esteem. And when it hurts our self-esteem, our impact of work, our productivity, our life takes a nosedive, both mentally and physically. And this is a big problem. So please don't take it lightly. I'm glad you asked this question. Here are my 5 suggestions that I can give you on how to deal with this challenging slash toxic person who's harming you a lot. Request number 1, that all of us should first be aware of our boundaries. That there is a space we need. This is my space. And we need to be aware of these boundaries. We should be aware of who's entering these boundaries. And looks like you are now aware that this person is stepping into your boundary. So please remember that all of us should start with this first thing that we don't do in our country. In our country, we are taught that everything is, a social structure. So it's okay to just step into each other, thoda adjust kar lo. And that's how we live and that's how we are taught. But I think the time has come for us to create a boundary for ourselves, especially in the corporate world. In society, yes, we have to be accommodative, but not to a level that it abuses you or creates toxicity for you. Same as corporate. In the corporate world, please remember you need to have a space. That's your boundary. You're entitled. So you need to first feel the need of your own boundary. And you need to be aware of your boundary. You need to be aware of the fact that this is my space, my sacrosanctum space. And if somebody is coming inside, I think you need to be aware of it. Don't let it go that easily. So that is step number 1. Be aware of your space and be aware of who's entering that space. Tip number 2 or suggestion number 2, tell yourself it is not okay for this person to do this. Many of us don't realize the power of this sentence. It is not okay for you to criticize me. It is not okay for you to make fun of me. It is not okay for you to take away credit when I deserve it. It is not okay for you to badmouth me and spread malicious rumors. Because no, I don't deserve this. I deserve a lot better. I need my space. I need my work. I need my success. It is not okay for you to take it away from me. And that is something we need to learn. And this is nothing but good self-esteem practice. So please remember that tip number 2 is you need to tell yourself, it is not okay for this person to do this. Because that's where I think it becomes very, very important. Now, next look at the next one. Once you have realized your space and once you have realized that it is not okay for this person to do this, the third step is you need to assert with them. And you need to say that sentence which is very important for you. Please don't do this. This sentence is very important. This person is bullying you, mentally torturing you, doing things that they should not be doing, coming into your space and making you feel bad and harming you. You must assert yourself. Otherwise, how will this person know? The problem with many of us is that we are taught to be very accommodative. Ki chalo chalta hai. Somebody has come in, we are sitting on a seat. We take our space and somebody just pushes us and we say, ki chalo chalta hai yaar, no problem. But it is not okay. You need your space. And if this person is taking away your space, you need to tell this person, back off. Please don't do it. This is very critical. We don't do it. We actually घुमा फिरा के बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं, but the main sentence is, please don't do it. That's very important for you to say. Remember these simple words, back off, please don't do it. Or please stop doing it. Anything that makes your assertiveness very clear to them. Assert. And you'll be surprised the magic that these words have. We don't do it. We are not taught in our country to be very clear. Many times our society tells us that don't be selfish. थोड़ा adjust कर दो, उसको seat दे दो, क्या problem है? And that's wrong. This is a separate concept. We need our space. You are coming in my space. You are giving me disadvantage or you're making me uncomfortable. Don't do it. So the step 3 is be assertive. Tell this person, don't do it. Step number 4. These people, whoever are these people, you need to call them out publicly because they respond to that kind of a force that you need to, first of all, take help and call them out publicly. And in a meeting room where they are criticizing you, interrupting you, confront them because that's the only way they will realize your power. Otherwise, they'll keep doing this. And the last 5th tip is that please remember all of us have to be very careful with our relationships. हम लोग क्या करते हैं जब कॉलेज से बाहर निकल के कॉर्पोरेट में जाते हैं ना, ये मेरा भाई है एटीट्यूड ये नहीं चलने वाला. Don't go too close to people or don't be aloof from people. Maintain a balance. I've told this in many of my videos earlier. I've also talked about assertiveness in my videos earlier. Here is my request to you. Don't expect someone to be a very good person all the time. Everybody has issues. We are very complex people. तो किसी को एक pedestal पे मत बनाओ कि ये मेरा भाई है. This person will never harm me. This person is so good I have to take care of them. Don't do all that. कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में अपना काम करो, सबसे अच्छा सा बिहेवियर करो, न किसी से दोस्ती न किसी से बैर वाला एटीट्यूड, बट डोंट गो टू क्लोज बिकॉज वंस यू डू टू मच फॉर दीज पीपल एंड पुट देम ऑन अ पेडेस्टल एंड दे बिहेव बैडली, आप ही को दुख होगा बिकॉज योर ट्रस्ट इज ब्रोकन. सो डोंट पुट पीपल ऑन अ पेडेस्टल. Have a professional engagement with everyone, neither too close nor too aloof. And once you do that, I think you'll be able to manage them better because you are doing so much for them and they're not responding. वो तो आपकी मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं, आपको interrupt करते हैं, criticize करते हैं, and you feel bad. And that is because you're expecting too much from them. So request number 5, please make sure that you don't over trust and over expect from these people. Have a professional relationship with them. So let me summarize my 5 suggestions for you. How to deal with challenging toxic people. Suggestion number 1, know your boundaries and be aware of your boundaries, who's coming inside. Request number 2 or tip number 2, tell yourself that it is not okay for them to come into your boundaries. Request number 3, please assert yourself with them कि ऐसा मत करो भैया. Don't do it. I don't like it. That's very important. Request number 4, make these call outs very public, confront them very publicly. These people respond to force. So you have to be strong enough in a meeting room when they're interrupting you, call them out, confront them, and please take help from others who can support you in this mission. And request number 5, do not put people on a certain pedestal. Be professional with everyone. Na kisi se dosti, na kisi se bair. Be nice to everyone, but on your boundaries, on your terms. If somebody is coming inside, apply these 5 tips, and I think you'll be able to handle them better. Please remember, relationships are our foundation of our self-esteem. If someone in your relationship is toxic and is causing you harm, you should be very alarmed. So if you're watching this video and if there is someone in your corporate professional circle who's causing you a lot of stress, I think it's a toxic engagement. Follow these guidelines, do something about it, talk to someone about it, because you need to lift your self-esteem, be a lot more confident about yourself, because that's where your productivity comes from. So on that note, stay safe.